What do kids need in order to be able to succeed in a global economy? How should we prepare them for that life? Now, my answer, as you can probably tell from the title of the talk, is they need to play games. And when you say kids need to play games to learn, that's not necessarily so controversial. We have an idea that there are games that kids can play that are good for them. But when you say kids should play computer games, many people, I think, imagine this. This is a screenshot from one of the most popular computer games of all time. Well, I don't mean that. I mean a different kind of game. One of my daughter's favorite games is Zoo. They love to play Zoo. They love to make a little zoo and pretend that they are giving out tickets and so forth. And so it's not surprising that one of my daughter's favorite computer games is this, Zoo Tycoon. In Zoo Tycoon, you build and run a zoo. You get to decide things like where to put the fences and how to shape the different cages that the animals are in. You decide what to feed the animals and where to put the food and water, because of course if you put the food and water far away from where the people are, then they don't see the animals while they're eating. You get to decide what kind of animals you want to have in the zoo, how many and where to put them. You get to decide things like what the paths should look like, where to put trash cans, because of course if you don't put enough trash cans, your zoo gets dirty and people don't like it. You can put donation boxes and concession stands. You decide what to sell at the concession stands and how much to charge for them. Once you've built your zoo, you can actually go into your zoo and see what it looks like to walk around as a patron. You can see the other patrons and find out something about what they think. This little girl is apparently learning something about elephants right at this moment. You can also find out a whole bunch of information about how your zoo is doing. You can get a graph of the monthly attendance of your zoo over time. You can get a profit and loss statement of your zoo, showing the different expenses and the different sources of revenue and how your balance sheet looks. You can see here that in March, my daughter's zoo was losing money, but that's actually okay because the reason she was losing money is that she had a large animal acquisition that month. She bought some elephants. And then the next month, because of the increased attendance, the revenue's gone back up and her zoo's back in the black, or in the green in this case. And there's nothing particularly unique about this game in this respect. There's Railroad Tycoon and Roller Coaster Tycoon and Sim City and a whole host of other games that similarly present kids with a very rich virtual world that they can solve real problems in. But one of the things I'd like to emphasize here is that this is not the game that my daughter's playing when she plays Zoo Tycoon. This is.
Put an ice cream stand there. I will. Really, sometimes I do. And then you have to clean up garbage. I don't like doing that. Oh. You. Then we won't do it. No, but it's okay. Yeah, I can clean up garbage. Then they'll get more money.
One of the great developmental psychologists of the last century, Lev Vygotsky, argued that pleasure is not the defining characteristic of play. Rather, what happens when kids are playing is that in play a child creates an imaginary situation, and all play is the realization in play form of tendencies that cannot be immediately gratified. That's why, of course, when my daughter plays Zoo, there's always a concession stand that she built where you can buy gifts and trinkets. Vygotsky's point is that games create worlds. But again, to reiterate, this is not the world of the game. This is. Just as this is not the world of the game, this is. Or to put it another way, a game is always a culture, as anyone who, for example, has been to a Gamblers Anonymous meeting knows.